Hello, this is Mark Mitchell from Wizard Strategy. I'm here again with another review of a building material company's dealer or contractor locator on their website to see how they're doing and what we all can learn from how to make our locators better. So today I want to take a look at an industry leader and see how they're doing. Today we're going to take a look at Marvin Windows. And Marvin is a great leading brand. They make a great product, have a great reputation. They do some very effective sales and marketing programs. So we have this nice, clean website, and in keeping with that, we have the Find a Dealer right up here at the top. It's easy to find. Normally, I would want this to be in a big red box, but that would certainly get in the way of this very elegant design of this website. So it's easy to find. And the other thing is it's easy to understand. So I don't have to go to some drop-down menu to find the locator. I don't have to scroll all the way down to the bottom as I found with some companies' pages. It's right here on the top of the homepage, and it's in plain English. Find a dealer. Some people try to get creative, and you have to kind of go, what does that really mean? So find a dealer, and guess what? There actually is a dealer, because once in a while you'll hit on find a dealer and they send you to a list of reps. And so that should be find a rep instead of find a dealer. But one of the other things I noticed real quick that I like is that as I've been looking at more and more of these locators on different building material companies' websites, finding out who's doing a good job, what are some good ideas maybe that are overlooked by other people. And one of the things I started to notice was the use of I'll call it the header or the top of your locator page. So many of them say find a dealer, and it goes right to what's your zip code and here's the map. And I think you really miss an opportunity when you don't kind of set the stage for these are special people, not just anybody. So I loved here it says Marvin experts are experienced in working with architects, builders, and homeowners to ensure your vision becomes a reality. Connect with a dealer in your area to learn about product offerings, visit a showroom, ask questions about product pricings, request a quote, and more. I thought that was really well done. And I think many companies, if you don't have something up there about the caliber of your dealers or contractors, you should add something up there. It could have a photograph, or it could just be nice, clean copy like this. And then it's easy. I like this residential or commercial. And then I also liked how it's programmed to go, oh, Mark is in Boulder. We don't have to input his thing. And right away, the other thing is what I see a lot of dots on the map. I see the three closest right here. So they're not giving me too many choices. It's one of the things I think is if you have 20 dealers or something, you're actually making it a little harder for me by expecting me to wade through 20 and decide which one is right for me, because it's not just about how far away they are. Now, if I'm going to buy a can of white paint, it probably is the convenience of how close it is. But if I'm going to buy something, a considered expensive purchase like new windows, I'm going to want to probably see them. I'm going to maybe want to go to a showroom. I'm going to want to know, am I dealing with a dealer who can help me order them, or am I dealing with somebody who can also do the installation, estimating, and perhaps offer some design services to make sure that I don't choose a window that doesn't go with my style of home. And so I like how they do that. Now, the other thing that was nice and clean how they laid this out here is here's first of all signature windows and doors, address, phone number, even a fax number. Not sure why we need that. And then show details. So I open that up and I can see here's their hours. And I love this one, particularly with home improvement sales. Evenings and weekend appointments are welcome. Call to schedule an in-home consultation. And then it features Marvin Authorized Installer. Not sure what that means. Span Signature Modern, Signature Ultimate, Elevate, and Essential Collection. So I assume I've done some research on the website and I know the differences between those collections. And then get directions. But what I liked here was connect with the dealer. and it takes me to a landing page where I'm still here in on Marvin's website, if you will. And here's welcome to Signature Windows and Doors. And here's some copy about we invite you to visit our Marvin Design Gallery showrooms and see in person why Marvin windows are best in class, and goes on and tells what experience I will have if I decided to talk to Signature Windows and Doors. I select a showroom, and apparently they have three in around me. And then I put in my first, last name, email address, zip code, and if I want to put in a message. And then, we always go back and forth about we want to ask more information, but not so much as somebody gets turned off. But then there's somebody who actually wants to provide more information. And this is a nice option I'd not seen before, which is I'd like to provide more information. And you click here, and now it opens up, and I can put in and tell you if I'm an architect or additional information about that. So I thought that was a nice option to give people. And then, so I fill that, I submit it. Well, now that goes to Signature Windows and Doors, but it also goes to Marvin. And then Marvin knows that a lead was sent to Signature. Signature knows a lead came from the Marvin website. Marvin can follow up with Signature and say, did you get that inquiry from Mark Mitchell? What was he looking for? Is there anything we can do to help? And then you can also kind of track, like, okay, gee, whatever happened to that Mark Mitchell sale? Did he buy a competitor? Did he not buy Windows? Whatever happened to him? So this is really the next level of locators, which I think that shows how locators can keep up with all the advances that we've seen in CRM programs and other marketing automation and other types of digital marketing. If I go back now, if I go back to the locator, I guess I have to go back this way. So now I take a look here, and I'll go down here to high details. And I go down here to, let's see, here's Jordan's building center. Now that sounds different than a window and Signature Windows and Doors. This sounds like more of a lumber dealer. And so I can look at the details, and here we have the collections they have. I don't have the hours. There's other details that would be nice to know. Now, sometimes that's tough because you're depending upon the dealer and people to give you that information. But then I liked here, once again, connect with dealer, and it takes me to the same landing page, but I've got Jordan's logo and a story about Jordan's Building Center is a full-service lumber yard and hardware center has grown with Colorado's Front Range since 1962. So it helps me to understand the difference between Jordan's and the difference between the Signature. And same forms to fill out. So once again, Marvin knows that Mark Mitchell is perhaps a lead, as well as Jordan's knows. And Marvin can say, gee, Jordan's, we sent you 12 leads last month. How many did you close on? And our national average is they close on 6 of them, or whatever the number is. I think this is just, additional great data. Now, the one thing that I would suggest is that take this to an even another level, and that is that each of these landing pages is a step a bit more unique to each dealer or contractor. So for example, there could be photography of Jordan's Building Center, whether it's the team that works there, whether it's the outside of the building, inside of their window showroom, their window department. You could also show me reviews of what people have had experiences with Jordan's. And you could also show me maybe pins on a map of all the homes that have bought Marvin windows from Jordan's in my area. So you could do more things. GAF does an excellent job of this on their contractor locator in their residential roofing section. So if you want to see, I'll take it another step. You could look there. But Marvin is doing a really good job with this. It's nice, it's clean, it's elegant, it fits with what they do. So I think they've done a very good job here. And if we go back to the beginning, just to review one more time, the highlights are: 1, it's easy on the homepage to find the locator. It's in plain English. Number 2, when I go there, I love the use of this header where they've put in some explanation about, we have great dealers or contractors. And then I liked how it automatically knew where I was. And then the details here was a great addition. And then what I really like is connect with a dealer where you're doing it for me. With many other locators, you could be at this stage and there's the phone number. Maybe there's a link to a website. Many times there's not. So what I find myself doing is I'm going to cut and paste Signature Windows and Doors Colorado. I'm going to put it into my search engine, and I'm going to myself go find their website and to help decide, is this the company that I want to deal with? Do they have experience with my kind of house? Do they have more experience with commercial than residential? Do they, I'll just get more of a sense of, is this the best place for me in terms of the expertise and experience to meet my needs? So I think that Marvin has done an excellent job. I think there was a lot to learn here on their locator. So I'm giving them a score of 9.4 in my measure of, does your locator measure up? And I hope you've learned something from that, and take a look at your own locator and say, is there any little tips or things here that we could do to improve the performance of our locator? The harder you make it for the customer to get the information they want, the more likely they are to leave you. And also, when you send them directly from you to the contractor or dealer, after you spend a lot of time getting them to come to your website, giving them a great experience, maybe sending them a series of emails, and then they disappear, you don't know where they went. And many times you have a dealer that carries 3 or 4 or 5 brands and your competition. And somebody calls up and says, I'm looking for some windows, and they could sell them another brand, not even realizing that I came there because of Marvin. So I really like the advances that I'm seeing in locator software these days. If you'd like me to review yours, drop me a line, and I promise to be gentle. I'll try to be really nice, but please send it to me. And till our next one next week, I hope you're learning a lot and continuing to improve your sales and marketing.